Hey folks, my guest today is Iranthi Gomez. She was born and raised in Sri Lanka, now based in Europe. She moved to Melbourne, Australia for university, then ran and sold a mobile coffee catering business. She found another business problem and built Service Form. She's now grown up to a team of 52 people and raised 3 million USD. A Harry Potter fan, she builds Legos for fun and took up golf recently. Again, now building serviceform.com, which helps you get rid of bad customer experiences. Iranthi, are you ready to take us to the top?
Yes, sounds good. Very
All
exciting.
right. What does that mean? Tell us an example of a customer using you and how you help them get rid of bad customer experiences.
Okay, a good question. With whatever we have done so far, Nathan, it's been that anything that we have offered is been around website conversion. So that has been basically the main focus. And something very important to highlight is our customer audience has always been the traditional business. So I don't know how much you know of the backstory of how Service Form was born, but the idea was that we were working with the traditional businesses in the hospitality space, and we saw
What
that
year was this? When did you launch?
this was in we actually started in early 2018.
Okay.
So before that, we had a coffee catering business in Melbourne. Then that's how Service Form was born. So when that happened, we were working with hospitality partners, and these people were very good at what they were doing, very good at events, running a catering business, but knew very little about a technology or even what's out there available in the market. So our customer audience is basically the traditional business. So if you think someone like
So it is your coffee shop. It's your coffee shop. Your mobile coffee catering company would be a great customer for Service Form.
exactly perfect
Very
customer,
cool.
because
That's
it's
amazing.
a service
And then
business.
and then help me understand how you price, right? So are you selling $10 a month, $100? What's your average customer paying per month?
Right. Okay. So with even though we are SaaS, we are more service model SaaS, right? And the fact that we're working with the more a traditional business around real estate, automotive, anything in the service industry. So we do have the typical SaaS monthly subscription. So our pricing starts from about 250 euros upwards, and
A
then I
month?
think a month. Yes.
Okay. What's
Our
the
high
average customer pay, would you say?
That's about 300.
Okay. And your biggest customer pays how much?
Yes, I was getting to that. So I did pay about almost 4,000
Per month.
per month. Yes.
And why do they pay so much more? You're giving them more leads or getting more product. They have more seats. Why do they pay so much?
So it's a mix of a lot of things. It's a mix of, so because when we start working them, it's because we have a whole set of conversion tools that we use. And right now we've actually gone out of the space. We've gone into management, meeting scheduling, all of that. So when we start working with them, it's always to do with conversion and with a few tools that, can actually help them get started. But then more time goes on, we add in the other tools depending on the size of the business. And then comes in more seats because we have our live chat software, we have our a meeting scheduling, seats. So all of that, and then also it depends a lot on the size of the business.
Very cool. I love this. Okay, so that's helpful. You launched in 2018. Your company was your first customer, sort of your mobile coffee company. How many customers are you serving now today?
So right now, a bit over 400, around 420-ish.
Okay,
But then if
that's
you look at it in the sense of like, because we work with a lot of partners, our tools are live in about maybe over 2,500 websites.
that's okay. So one of your go to markets is through partners.
Definitely.
Okay, let's talk about that in a second. If we take your 420 customers, though, at the average price point of 300 a month, that would put you at about $120,000 a month right now in revenue. Is that about right?
Actually, it's more. It's about 150,000 in
Okay.
MRR now.
So your ARPU is a little bit higher then.
Yes.
This is great. Oh, what's going on there, YouTube? Good to see you guys. Now imagine this. You love watching these interviews with SaaS founders, but imagine if we took all of the valuation data out from over 2,807 interviews I've done manually. Saves you a lot of time. Well, we've done this. We've built it into the beautiful interface inside of FounderPath. Check this out. I'll show you how you can access this in a second, but you log in, you connect your Stripe account, you see your valuation real time, you can see what it changed over the past 88 days, and even set goals for valuation this year. Now, the secret to valuation is there's many different ways to value a SaaS business. So the reason you're going to see 3 or 4 different valuations inside of your FounderPath dashboard, this is all free by the way, is because depending on who's doing the buying of your SaaS company, you're going to get a different valuation. A VC is going to pay a different valuation. Private equity firm is different. If you're going to do a minority sale, that's different. And if you sell the whole business, that's a different valuation. You can see all those when I hover over here. Right. So the teal is what a VC would pay, yellow is what private equity, and red is if you sold the whole thing outright. Now, what's cool about this is not built off random data. Again, you guys hear these interviews on YouTube. All these data are built from real-time valuation data points founders share with us on the show. So traction, 1.2 million, seed round, 3.7 raise, they sold 22% of their business. Go in here and filter by the event. Maybe you only want to see companies that have sold the whole business. Well, here are a bunch that have been acquired, the valuation and the multiple. Maybe you're going out right now and you're raising your seed round. Well, go in here and look at all this recent seed deals that went down, what they raised, what valuation they raised at, and what percent that they sold. There's never been a larger data set of SaaS valuations than what you can get now inside of FounderPath, and we're thrilled to bring it to you. All right, we're going to go back to the YouTube video here in a second, but if you want to check this tool out, if you want to jump in and sign up, you can check it out for free to get your valuation at this link, founderpath.com/products/valuations. Or if you go to founderpath.com and hover over products, click on get your valuation here and go ahead and sign up to give it a whirl. Again, all that valuation data live right inside the platform. I hope to see you there. All right, let's jump back into the interview. Okay, so if you're doing $150,000 a month today in revenue, help us understand growth, Iranthi. What were you doing exactly 1 year ago?
So I think last year, I remember when we ended, because at that point was when we raised our big funding round, a big seed round of 2.2 million. So at that point, I think we were about 65,000 in MRR. So I think growth-wise, it's now been 8.5 to 9% month on month.
Yeah, that's incredible. So 65,000 a month a year ago, up to $150,000 a month today. You mentioned a seed round. So you closed that last year. It was 2.2 million, you said?
It was early this year. So we started commerce, like the whole discussion late last year, and we closed it early this year.
Interesting. And 2.2 million pre-seed round. I mean, most folks are selling 15 to 20% of their business in pre-seed rounds. Were you in that same range?
No, we are much more than that in terms of the. Wait, I don't understand the question.
Yeah, so someone give you a check for 2.2 million bucks. Most pre-seed rounds, that equity investor is going to get 15 to 20% of the business.
Yes, absolutely. It's around that.
You were in that same range.
Yes.
Okay, very good. So we could take 2.2 million and times like 6 or 7. You raised it like between a 10 and 15 million multiple valuation, not multiple valuation.
You're hitting figures there.
All right, very cool. Why did you need, I mean, look, dilution's dilution, right? You just give up 20% of your business. Why'd you need to give up that amount? I mean, why can't you build this and bootstrap it?
Well, multiple things. It also comes down to, like, let's say, because me and Yark, my co-founder, it was just the two of us who started, and now we are almost a team of 60 based in 4 countries.
60?
60.
Wow.
I know, right? So we started in Finland because he's Finnish. We were operating, the coffee business in Melbourne, but then we realized if we really wanted to do business globally, it would make sense maybe if we moved ourselves into Europe. So he's Finnish, and that's when, we opened up the actual business in Finland. But then we were operating in the Finnish market. And if you have operated in the Finnish market, you would know a lot of companies don't tend to go outside. So like everything that we were doing, everything we were learning was very much towards the market. And we realized it was time for us to step out. And then that's when we thought, hey, it might be nice to bring in people, who have done this before, get new ideas, move into different markets. So with that in mind, and then we really wanted to push and grow the business. So then, of course, we thought investment would be the way to go. Yep. And then that's when a Swedish VC, a company backing Minds, came on board.
Yep. 60 people. So for 1.8 million in revenue, that's a lot of employees. It's taking you a lot of humans to generate not a lot of revenue. 30,000 in revenue per employee. Why do you need so many people?
Good question. So with us being SaaS and working in that traditional space, because right now I'm sitting at a WeWork in London. And if you go and ask anyone here about what a CRM is, a conversion software, they'll all know what it is. But you go out and speak to majority of the businesses out there, they don't know, right? So working with that target market, we have seen that we just can't hand over the tools to them and tell them, great, you pay us a monthly subscription fee. Now you can go figure it out. And here's your help documentation. It just doesn't work that way. We have tried it. So we have a whole customer success team in place to, make them successful. So with that, we have many humans on board.
How many on customer success?
So I think we have about 15
And where are they based?
They're based in Finland, Sweden, Spain, and Sri Lanka.
Okay.
And
I mean,
the
but
other,
how do you pay? So, I mean, what I'm looking for here is, are you paying some of these 60 employees like really low amounts of money? That's the only way that you could generate revenue at 30,000. I mean, profit when you're doing 30,000 revenue per employee.
yes, but I also want to touch on one more thing. And the other reason why we have too many people is because our entire business so far, I would say maybe about 95% of it is outbound sales driven. So that's where, more people come in sales, and we have about 25% sales team,
Do they all have a quota?
actually 20.
Do they all have a quota?
Yes, we do. But the fact that the quota is around about 6 deals a month per person.
Which is how much revenue?
So it'll be about 1,500 in MRR.
Okay, so you're asking them, a sales rep in a year, to add 1,500 of new MRR per month, or that would be 18,000 of new MRR per year, right? Times 12 is about 216,000 of new ARR per rep per year. How do you pay a rep if they're only bringing in 200 grand of new ARR?
So we structure a lot of it through, so we, of course, we have a base fee, and then we structure most of it through a performance fee.
So if you were hiring me, what would my base fee be?
It depends. I'll have to interview you, and we can talk more.
Let's say I'm a junior. I'm just getting into sales. Like, what's the lowest my base could potentially be if I'm working for you
So it'll be about, I would say, 2.5
per month?
per month.
Okay, so 2,500 per month. And then if I hit my quota target, how much could I earn over the year?
Let's see. So our commission model is very much structured towards MRR, right? So with every deal brought in, we do 2x in MRR. Does that make sense?
No. So if I close $100 a month deal, how much commission do I get on that?
You make 200.
What if the customer that I bring in churns after 1 month?
So that's the other thing. So because we do it as a service model, we don't charge them. Also, we don't do any separate setup fees. But what we do is, on a minimum base, we charge them either 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months. So then guaranteed that they pay up for 3 months.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay. And is this why you've been able to more than double your revenue year over year? It's the sales motion?
Yes, it is. And something that we've been really trying to figure out this year, which we started, is the marketing side, the inbound side. But we all know how it takes time. Finding the right message, that definitely takes time. So outbound is what has worked really well for us. And then we are focusing, we're basically doubling down on what's working for us.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Now, when you launched the company, you mentioned a co-founder. Did you guys split 50-50 at the start?
Yes.
Even Steven, right down the middle.
Even Steven, and fun fact, we also married now.
That makes it a little easier. Okay, so the only other people on your cap table besides you and your spouse is the pre-seed investors and maybe some employees with the ESOP pool.
Yes, and then we also do have a few angel investors who came on board when we started, right in the beginning.
What did they put in? How much total?
So in total, we have about 2.5 million raised.
Okay, so the angels put in 300,000 back in 2018.
Yeah, so it didn't come all at once. So it was like bits and pieces, because now they have been on board with us for ever since we started.
Fair. Okay, but you and your spouse still own together what, about like 75 to 80% of the business, something like that?
I think it's about 65. Yeah.
65. Okay, that's not bad. Very cool. All right, what do you want to grow revenue to with this new round of funding? So you spend the full 2.2 million. What do you hope revenue is at when you run out of that money?
Okay, so let's go with years. So by the end of this year, we're estimating to hit about 170,000 in MRR. And that's roughly about maybe 1.5 to 1.6 million in revenue.
Yep.
And next year, what we're very excited about is getting that up to 500,000 in MRR. Mm-hmm. And this, now our main markets that we're operating has been in Finland, Spain, and Sweden. And Finland has been the market that's been doing well so far. So we want to get Sweden and Spain up to that same level. And then we have plans to expand into a few other markets.
Well, Iranthi, we're certainly rooting for you. This is a great story. You guys got a lot of revenue here before you did that 2.2 million round. So hope you come on in a year and give us an update. But in the meantime, let's wrap up with the famous five. Number one, what's your favorite business book?
Business book, How to Influence Friends. No, I can't remember what it's called.
How to win friends and influence people.
How to Influence and Influence People, yes.
All right. Number two, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
I've always been a huge fan of Richard Branson. I
Yep.
think I would give my entire entrepreneurship career to him.
Yeah, I love that. Number three, what's your favorite online tool for building service form?
Google Chat. That's the one main
Num-
tool that it's been very important.
Number four, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
Depends. 5, 6.
Five. Okay. Situation, married. Well, we already know you're married. Any kids?
No.
No kids. Okay. And do you mind me asking how old you are?
29.
29. Last question. Something you wish you knew when you were 20.
Something I wish I was 20. Well, that I would live in the US because I've always loved New York and I did it.
Guys, there you have it. Serviceform.com launched in 2018 after she sold her mobile coffee delivery company. Serviceform helps small companies and SMBs like her coffee company get more leads faster. They've got 420 customers today that pay on average $300 a month, doing $150,000 a month in revenue, up from $65,000 a month just a year ago. So really nice growth. She just closed her pre-seed 2.2 million round at between a 10 and 15 million valuation. Her and her co-founder, which also happens to be her spouse, still own over 65% of the business. We're certainly rooting for them. Iranthi, thank you for taking us to the top.
Thank you, Nathan.
One more thing before you go. We have a brand new show every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central. It's called Shark Tank for SaaS. We call it Deal or Bust. One founder comes on, 3 hungry buyers, they try and do a deal live, and the founder shares back-end dashboards, their expenses, their revenue, ARPU, CAC, LTV, you name it, they share it. And the buyers try and make a deal live. It is fun to watch every Thursday, 1 p.m. Central. Additionally, remember, these recorded founder interviews go live. We release them here on YouTube every day at 2 p.m. Central. To make sure you don't miss any of that, make sure you click the subscribe button below here on YouTube, the big red button, and then click the little bell notification to make sure you get notifications when we do go live. I wouldn't want you to miss breaking news in the SaaS world, whether it's an acquisition, a big fundraise, a big sale, a big profitability statement, or something else. I don't want you to miss it. Additionally, if you want to take this conversation deeper and further, we have by far the largest private Slack community for B2B SaaS founders. You want to get in there. We've probably talked about your tool if you're running a company or your firm if you're investing. You can go in there and quickly search and see what people are saying. Sign up for that at nathanlatka.com/Slack. In the meantime, I'm hanging out with you here on YouTube. I'll be in the comments for the next 30 minutes. Feel free to let me know what you thought about this episode. And if you enjoyed it, click the thumbs up. We get a lot of haters that are mad at how aggressive I am on these shows, but I do it so that we can all learn. We have to counter those people. We got to push them away. Click the thumbs up below to counter them and know that I appreciate your guys' support. All right, I'll be in the comments. See ya.